Record. Good morning, traders. This is a quick recording on yesterday's class because the recording was not there. So it's fibs. And I think all of you were in yesterday, so you have a very great idea of what to look for. I'm going to go through very fast, just the basic rules of what, without all the extra parts that we did, right? Why we use fibs. Now I'm just going to give you the basic stuff, right? I think you would remember why we use fibs, right? So how do we put fibs on the chart? It's easy, right? You're going to pull in an uptrend. You're going to pull from swing low to swing high, right? That's how you're going to put it. In a downtrend, let me find one that is in a downtrend. Let's say euro is in a downtrend. So make an assumption. You're going to pull from swing high to swing low. That's how you put fibs in the direction of the trend. Rule number one, we fib only in the direction of the trend, right? You have to have a trend before you or at least a trend in the making before you can put a fib, right? That's the rule. Whether it's a corrective trend or it's an impulsive trend, doesn't matter, which means is it trending or is it just making a correction? You could still fib as long as you're going to get a trend. So you have this move and you got that move and you think you're getting one more move down as a trend, you can fib this to see if this is going to come down, where it will go to, right? What do we use the fib for? Oh, before I move on to that, when does this fib no longer becomes valid? So let's say you fib this piece and it is going to the 270. It broke the low. You're looking for the 270, right? You have a trend here. You fib the second piece because this starts to pull back. Once they break the top of the fib, once they break the top of this fib, that fib is no longer valid. So that's a rule. It's no longer valid once you break the top of a fib or the bottom of a fib, depends if you're in an uptrend or a downtrend, right? So pong, we fib the upside. If this move is to keep coming down and break this low here, that fib will no longer be valid. This fib is no longer valid because two things: you're breaking the trend line and you're breaking the bottom of the fib. So both of those will already negate the use of the fib. Remember, when you break the trend line, we have a rule that says all of this becomes one of its own, right? Remember that rule? You broke the trend line, so all of that is one of its own. And that means there's a second rule that says if all of that is one of its own, you cannot use the middle to do anything. You can only use the top or the very bottom of that move. So this fib would no longer be valid. There's a number of rules that tell you it's no longer valid. See? All these rules, they come to fit into each other very nice. It makes you understand the whole structure very well. So as long as it hasn't broken the trend line and broken, it can come all the way to here and turn to the upside. Right? These would be the retracement fibs. When it do turn and you get into the trade, we will always calculate our target to the 270. Why? Because we have a 90% chance of them getting there. You can test that for yourself. You don't need me to test it for you. I showed you yesterday how to do that, so it's easy. Go test it. Find an impulse, find a correction, pull a fib, see whether they go to the 270. 90% of the time they will go to the 270. That's not where the move is going to stop. That is where it will go to 90% of the time. Some will turn back from the 270, some will continue to go, some will just correct from the 270 and then continue to go. But you're going to hit that 270 90% of the time. Right? So if you're calculating a target that is very sure to happen, you want to calculate a target that has a good space of going, right? At least 90% of the time. So you're saying, when we're taking a trade, we're saying, okay, this will always be our target. Not that that is where we are trying to go finally, but that will always be your first target. So if this thing breaks here right now, and I take this trade as a trade that is coming to the top here, this would be the calculation, this would be the entry, this would be the stop. Just to give you an idea. If I don't think it's going there, but I think this is just a correction, well, I'm not trading that one. It comes back here, and then I think it's coming here. Well, on the break of this, if I take the trade here, this would be my stop, that's my entry, and this is my target. See? So I would always know whether it's a good trade to take or not based on how much do I have, how much risk to reward I have on the trade. And to know that, you need to know where your target is going to be. You may hit the 1618. We're not calculating for that. Call that good luck. Anything above the 270 is your good luck. Right? And it could go way, way, way to the 278. 2618, right? We don't care. We're telling you where you're going to get a guarantee target, where you're saying that at that point, if I don't have a 2-to-1, I'm not taking the trade. See? Which means wherever you're going to put your stop, to wherever the target is from your entry, you have to have 2-to-1. That's it. So that's the reason we use that as the target, because of the 90% chance of that one getting it. And that's the only reason we use fibs, to find the target and to see how far they've retraced. We don't use it for any other things. On the fib clusters, like I was explaining yesterday, this is how you can use a fib cluster, which means you want to find a place in the retracement where you think that thing is very likely going to turn from. So this is how we can use fib clusters sometimes. Let me find one where it will be usable for you guys. This one will not be usable. I'm trying to find one that's usable so you can know. For example, you can go with this. You can say to yourself, this is my fib to the upside on that impulse, just as an example, right? That's an impulse to the upside. That's your fib to the upside. You can say this is your A wave, that's your B wave. So you want to know where the C wave will go to before it turns to the upside again. You can fib the first wave down. Come on. And you look for the 270. The 270 in that case is right here. So if you'd make a decision that at that fifth, I think that's a 382 fib, at that 382 fib and that 270, this thing is going to turn to the upside, you could actually buy there, right? You buy, it turns out to be just a correction. They come lower, they came to the 618, as you were asking, can they go to the 618 and the 50 fib, and that is where they turn, right? So you can make an attempt to buy there again. I'm just giving you an indication. This is not for trading purpose. You should not be doing this trading. I'm just showing you how some people can use it when they're using fibs in this sense for the clusters. You may want to put a daily fib and a 240 fib and a weekly fib and see if there's any cluster there. That is useless. Forget about doing that. I know people who sell fibs as magical strategy. Do that. It's a waste of your time. There is no indication they're going to turn on that 270. And at the 382. As a matter of fact, they made a correction, drop lower, and then go. What is more paramount, what is very much important to you is looking at the structure. The fibs is just a tool. It's a tool that is helping you. Use it just as a tool. It's not magical. Right? So just remember that. That's all we do. So rule number one, how you fib, swing high, swing low, direction you fib, when the fib is invalidated. Right? You need to know that. The fib clusters, if you want to use them, you need to know that. We are always looking for the 270 and why we use the fib to the target. That's pretty much all you need to know about fib. So now your job is to go pull fib, practice, practice, practice. Everything else you need to know about fib, you can ask, we will answer. I don't think there's anything much more important. What fib is and how people use them, you can get all of that on the internet. You don't need that. Nothing is magical about the 618. I can go make a fancy story about how the 618 is magical and it's golden and you're going to find it all over and wherever you look, you're going to see it. It's just blah, blah, blah. It has nothing to do with your trading. And if you get to, you know, and this is why this is also my issue with most people out there who sell courses and trade and, you know, train people to do all this crap, because they pick one thing and they try to make it an issue. They tried to make it like, oh, this is the golden 618 strategy we're selling. Well, there is nothing like that. It's not true. Let's just put our brains on and turn it on, right? And see, it does exist. Proportionate things does exist in the world. Welcome to the world. It's not news. Everything is proportionate. You can find some form of proportion on anything. You see what I'm saying, right? So using that as an example to say, hey, this is golden, that's not true. It works, yes, because it's percentage-wise, right? That's basically why they work. The whole world works with percentage. If you're making profit, you're doing a business, you will try to make a percentage of profit. If you're selling something, you are either going to make a percentage win or a percentage loss on it. You're trading percentage-wise. I'm going to take every trade 1%. Guess what? At some point, if we start fibbing if we start plotting your whole trading thing in a journal or something, or your trading results on a chart, you will find fibs and they will work. You will get drawdowns in your trading, right? You will be in drawdown. You will definitely be in drawdown. You will have losses. You're going to make wins. You're going to do all of that. And when you plot that on a chart, you're going to see pullbacks. You're going to see a curve. You're not going to have a straight line. So will the fib work there? Yeah, because you're going to have a percentage drawdown. You may have 25% drawdown. Okay, we'll say, well, that's close to the 24. What is the other fib? The 224 something fib. You may have 30% drawdown. We're going to go 32.8 fib. You may have 50% drawdown, right? It doesn't matter, 23.6, right? So don't make it look like these are very, 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 you know, these things are sacred, but it's not. It's a tool, use it as a tool. Trend lines are a tool, use them as a tool. So we're going to teach you all the tools we use, and we want you to use them as tools, like any other tools you would use if you're doing another business, right? If you're a doctor, you will have a certain amount of tools you will use. If you're, I don't know, what else people do for a living, right? If you're a chauffeur, you have a car to drive, right? If you're, you know, whatever you are, right? How to reset the fibs and what you're using in TradingView. Can you ask that in the trading room? Ask in the, here's where all of you guys who have those questions, ask in the general chat. One of the guys will take all of you in the trading room and show you. We don't have the time for that now. That's the problem. Right now, there are like 10 people waiting on me to go check if their account is, if their money is in. When you guys were in that situation, right? You'd be chasing me to see, is the money in? Please, sir, can you check if my money is in? I'm already, you know, the course has started and I'm already not in there, right? You guys know that. So these guys are chasing me like hell, and I can't tell them, hey, I have a class right now and I have this. They don't understand that. They're like, sir, why are you not looking at my you know, at the account right now? I'm a little busy, you know, I have other things to do, right? You guys are in here now and you can see how busy it becomes, right? So before I came in here, I spent an hour answering questions. I spent about an hour having breakfast and being with my son, right? Then answering questions, then get into the trading room, then take a break, make coffee, come back into the trading room, take another break, answer some more questions. When I say break, I mean I'm going to answer questions again. Then I'll come back into the trading room, and all of this I have to do while I'm still looking at my trading account and still making trades. Thank God I'm making trades that I keep for months and weeks. If I was trading like I had to trade every day and I had to put trades on and I have to close trades every day and I have to be there to click trades every 15 minutes, I'll not have time to do anything else. I'll probably make much more money, but not have time to do anything else, right? So sometimes I feel 24 hours in the day is too little. Because as it's coming to an end of the day, I sometimes get into panic mode that I'm not finished a lot of things. Well, not panic, but I do get that upset that so many things still left to do today that I haven't done. And I really don't like to leave them for tomorrow, right? So, you know, my wife don't see me. I'm working at home, and my wife don't see me because the door is locked. My son actually, when I was just coming back, started crying like, where are you going? You just came, you know, like you're supposed to show me I was supposed to show him a cartoon right now. Normally I'll show him one, right? So he's like, where are you going again? What happened to this cartoon? You know, we're not going to get this today. So it's that. I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you guys know, right? That it called for time. The time consuming. I don't think it's hard. I enjoy doing it. The only problem I hate with it is the time consuming. I don't have enough time to do all of it. So I'll go settle those guys, check the bank. And by the way, when I was doing that, the bank called me to tell me one more money bounced, right? That person will panic now because his money bounced. He paid, I think, 2 days ago, and it came and it bounced. So he's not going to be in the group until next week. So, you know, all of these things you have to deal with every day on a daily basis. And then you guys still send me questions too. And then I still have charts I have to do. And then there are other people outside of this group who are asking for help. You can't refuse them, right? You know that. You have to help everybody. And then I have 3-4 investors. While I'm talking, I just got a message from one of my investors there asking me something, right? So there are so many things you have to do. It's only 24 hours in the day. So, okay, guys, you guys take care. Any questions? Don't worry. You're in here. We can do this over and over 10, 12, 15 times. It's not, like I said, the course is not the end of your training. It's the beginning of your training. You just started. And the guys can tell you, if you know anything about me, you just actually started, because I'm going to run you down every day after to make sure you're taking the work serious and you're doing it, right? And make sure that you're actually learning this stuff. So you're going to get all the training you need. You're going to get all the knowledge. You're going to get all your questions answered. Don't rush. It's going to happen. You're not going anywhere for the rest of your life. You're in this room. And that means as long as you're here, you can ask me a question almost every day. So I don't get to answer your question today or this morning. I'll answer it in the afternoon, or I'll answer it tomorrow. You will get your questions answered. Don't worry. If I can't do it, somebody in the room will help you. Use the chat. You will get better answer, faster answer. If you don't get satisfaction to the answer in the chat, send it to me. I will deal with it. Right? That's how we work it. And that's why we have such a wonderful group. Victor is in there to help you guys. Right? Vic knows. Victor and all the other guys. I just said Victor because here, but everybody else, I can see in the chat that you guys are getting great help from everybody. And that's how the group works. You will be helping somebody in the next course. You will see that. You will be there to tell them, to guide them, to show them what to do. So go study, practice, practice. I'll see you guys again in 30 minutes. All right, take care, everybody. Any questions? Prepare your questions. We'll take questions in the next session on fibs and on trends. Take care. Bye-bye. Let me stop the recording.